Total Maxwell again with another video, and this time is a WWE updates video. Been absolutely powering this save. It's been really enjoyable, which is why we're getting these videos. Probably a lot quicker than anticipated and expected. I was kind of thinking we'd get 2 a month, and here we go. Pretty much had 4, nearly things 4 roughly already within the space of the game now being out maybe 2 weeks, which is quite scary. So as I say, I suppose it's scary. It's like really encouraging signs. It shows it's a good game. I'm hoping I'm not burning myself out with it, but as I say, it's been great so far. And I feel like some of the storylines I'm putting together and some of the workers we're getting over, it's usually the start of things. You know, it's like some people have got to where I want them to be, and the likes of Roman Reigns. Some people are like halfway to where we want them to be, and the likes of Becky Lynch, AJ Styles. Then there's development, like which is crammed with talents, and I'm assuming at one point I'm definitely going to have a brand split as well. So looking forward to this pay-per-view. As I say, Battleground is in the second week of July, which is going to give me 6 weeks, maybe even 7 actually. I think we have worked for it. Let me think here. 5 weeks, I think it is. 5 weeks preparation till the next event. I think I put it as a 3rd week. Yep, so that would be 5 weeks preparation. So a lot of build up to SummerSlam. But as I say, most importantly, it is WWE Battleground. I hope you enjoy the show, guys. As I say, I'll explain the feuds as we go. Enjoy. So, I've really just not done any like kind of pre-show matches or that. I feel like everybody I'm going to use is more than likely going to be on the pay-per-view to give them spotlight and to try and get their overness up as much as possible. So today we're at Fenway Park again, 37,000 capacity, so we've took 34,672 of that. Delighted with that. As per usual, we're going to start the show really hot, and it's going to be the usual package of hyping the main event feud tonight, which of course is the return of Seth Rollins facing Roman Reigns. So imagine that. You've got your Pyro, Michael Cole, JBL, and Jerry King Lawler, our announced team at the moment, getting us ready for that. So an A91 to start the show is good. Starts the show off to a strong start. The angle gets the crowd hot to start the show well, and Injustice storyline advances with this segment. Nothing really else to add to that. Our opening contest and a bout that had some good wrestling and decent reaction from the crowd. Rusev defeated Dolph Ziggler in 13-11 with the Bullplex. I really need to just make his finishes submissions. But B-75, as I say, we're going to try and get Rusev over just to give us another big monster heel. So he's going to go on a hopefully an unbeaten run. But a good victory over Dolph, who's pretty decent overness in this. Continues the storyline. Dolph's still not suited his gimmick, but I don't really have any plans for Dolph, which is worrying. But he got the crowd hotter as well. Ziggler with an 80, Rusev with a 65, so it continues the storyline. No skill improvements to speak of. Dirt Sheet just has the low heat of the storyline, which is fair enough because of injuries to Kevin Owens and John Cena has meant Rusev's had a few tangles with Kurt Angle, which has meant he's kind of neglected this storyline. But it's just the way it is, unfortunately, due to the injuries. Next up, we've got backstage. It's just AJ Styles, Finn Balor, Gallows and Anderson are shown hanging out. B-76, which will hopefully help Balor, Gallows and Anderson's overness. We don't fully have them as a Bullet Club, we don't fully have them as a club. It's pretty much AJ Styles is with Gallows and Anderson, Balor's a friend. We'll probably merge them into a kind of Bullet Club or club-like stable. Going into SummerSlam, maybe further forward. But they aren't officially together, they're just kind of like, we know who you are. We're friends with you. We don't mind you. We're all faces, so we're going to help you. But they're not official at the moment. I'm pretty sure that will happen down the line, though. So no skill improvements there. And yeah, no negatives. So happy with that. And in a very good 6-man tag. In a decent match, Finn Balor, Gallows and Anderson defeat Chris Jericho and the Usos in 15-26. When Finn Balor defeats Jey Uso by pinfall with a double knee gutbuster. B-77, Jericho and the Usos are far over than the face team of Balor and Gallows and Anderson, so a good chance to get them over a bit to get them closer to the upper mid-card. Anderson with 65, Gallows with 61, Balor with 77, Jimmy Uso with 70, Jey Uso with 66, and Jericho with 77 in terms of their in-ring performance. So we're getting Balor up to that elite level, which is good. We can maybe make a play moving him into the championship picture for maybe the US or IC titles. Machine Gun is improving his performance skills, so that's a positive as well. Negatives here, mostly for Chris Jericho. Yep, mostly for Jericho, but he's going to be used as the more senior enhancement talent to put stars on their way to the main event or the upper mid card. Next up, a video hyping Bray Wyatt versus The Miz, which is a C63, continuing this feud. Again, playing off the fact that it's Hollywood versus a guy who basically is from the forest or the wild or whatever. So two different complete parallel characters here. And a decent match though. The Miz defeats Bray Wyatt by pinfall with a skull-crushing finale. After Bray Wyatt is turned on by the Big Show, during the match we have Big Show basically come in, attack Bray Wyatt with a knockout punch which leads to the finish. The plan here is really just to give the Miz a bit of protection. You know, he's obviously a Hollywood guy, but maybe needs a bit of backup. So Big Show's going to help him here. It may be a short-term thing. I do have other plans for Big Show with another wrestler as a heel, but really just try to just use Big Show to put people over. But a B-74 is pretty good. Bray Wyatt with 72, Miz with 65. Continues the storyline there. No skill improvements. Couple negatives on the Miz there. I'm not sure if we'll definitely align him, the Miz with the Big Show, or if it'll be a case of the Big Show is going to feud with Bray Wyatt, but there'll be maybe people to add on each side. I've still to decide, but good thing is it's open for a couple of different suggestions there. So we'll handle the turn. 3 segments of the Big Show, who turns heel for the 9 millionth time, and maybe could have built up a little bit more, but it's the Big Show, so I don't really mind. I think more often I need to try and build up some, so it didn't get down particularly well, but it's the Big Show, so it's not overly massive. Next up, a music video to promote the champion, Becky Lynch, just obviously going on about how good Becky Lynch has been as she continues to get over and defend her championship. It's a D43 there as we continue to get her over on this to the next level. And in about they had some decent wrestling, but little heat. Becky Lynch defeats Natalya, Charlotte and Nikki Bella in 13:03 when Becky Lynch defeated Natalya by pinfall with hard knocks. Nikki Bella back from injuries, so she's back in the title hunt. Charlotte were basically just keeping there, protecting her, and Natalya was there to take a pinfall. Still unsure how I'm going to play Sasha Banks into this because both her and Becky are baby faces, but Boss will be entering the women's title scene soon. But a C plus 67, I'm happy with that. Becky Lynch with 68, that just shows how much we've built her up. Her overness has helped her in ring. Far superior to everyone else in the match. Charlotte 57, Natalya 51, and a 47 for Nikki Bella. The last kicking storyline has advanced. No skill improvements. Your negatives here. Poor momentum for Natalya. Inconsistency and a poor gimmick for Charlotte. But overall, I'm quite happy with that for the women's division as we continue to build it up. Next up, we've got basically just a promo with Kurt Angle just hyping up about Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens obviously isn't here because he's injured. Basically, Kurt Angle saying he's going to get his US title back. As I say, it's just a shame Kevin Owens is out for the next month, so that match won't be happening tonight. So it's a B77. However, Kurt Angle does have a match. We've put him in a match against Sheamus, and then about they had great wrestling and good heat. Kurt Angle defeats Sheamus in 13:14 by pinfall with an Angle slam. B78 keeps Kurt Angle looking really strong. He gets an 83, Sheamus gets a 76. No skill improvements to speak of, and the dirt sheet actually has more negatives for Sheamus rather than Kurt Angle. But disappointingly, both men are declining physical ability, so both men will be probably putting talents over going forward. Next up, promo between Seth Rollins and Paige. Basically, pairing Paige up as a kind of on-screen couple with Seth Rollins, not Alberto Del Rio, so internet, don't break. Just basically try and get Paige to that next level without being in the women's title picture. So when she returns to the women's title picture, hopefully she's 70 over, and then when she's fighting other women, she can elevate them, and then it's win-win for our women's division. So a B-72 there. Quite happy with that. It doesn't affect anything because it's not a storyline, but hopefully it helps Paige in the long term. Next up, in a 6-man tag, in a decent match, the New Days, Kofi Kingston, Big E and Xavier Woods defeat Matt Hardy, who is aligned with the Dudley Boys, in 12:32 when Kofi Kingston defeated Matt Hardy with the SOS. Basically putting Matt Hardy with the Dudleys just to kind of have that way of the tag division. They were together, obviously, as opponents back in the Attitude Era. Just felt he's a good match here to even the odds up against the New Day. Obviously, wait and see what happens with the situation with Jeff's contract before we try and make an approach. At B-76, Kofi was off his game, Xavier with 58, Big E with 81, so there's obviously a big push in line for Big E. Kofi with 69, Matt with 63, Devon with 55, and Bubba with 65. So you see there, your main talent there is Big E. But Devon improves technical, and Matt Hardy improving Rumble and performance. And considering a lot of negatives for the Dudleys for just low momentum, low morale because of how they've been booked, I mean, that could have maybe even been B+. Maybe B. Maybe not. Maybe B+ is maybe a bit too ambitious, but it could have been better. But as long as it's like in the Bs, I'm fairly happy because these are talents that are probably going to be our upper mid card in the future. Next up, we've got Dean Ambrose cutting a promo about Batista. Yes, Dave Batista is back. Because of injuries to Cena and Kevin Owens, I needed a bit more star power, so I decided with Batista, who's available, just basically come in, beat up Dean Ambrose and just saying, here, this is my spotlight, you're not stealing it. And just basically keeping Ambrose away from the main event feud as well. So giving him something to do in a feud with Batista. B+87, Ambrose looks good, and it hypes up the match. We then get the video hyping it as well, which is a B+83, like you would in WWE. But the match itself was only a B-74, probably because of the lack of psychology. They said it was a superb match. Ambrose wins in 14:59 by DQ, giving Ambrose the win, but also keeping Batista looking fairly strong. Don't want him pinned in his first match back. 64 in-ring for Batista, so that's quite worrying, but Dean Ambrose with the in-ring performance of a 93 just shows that's your next star. No skill improvements to speak of in this instance. For psychology, stamina, declining physical ability, all negatives there for Batista, but he's still a draw, so hopefully someone we can maybe use as an upper mid-card guy, or if we go with a brand split, he can help elevate talents to main event. Basically after this we then have, well, I wouldn't say a backstage argument as it says there, basically just after the match they just continue fighting, and it means the road agents have to come out, the staff have to come out, the referees, senior officials, dragging them about. It shows that this feud, there's a little bit to it. I haven't done it as a storyline because there's still plans for the Ambrose to enter the main event, but A92, it keeps a little bit of heat between them. Ambrose comes across well, just pretty poor from the announce team. But if you're going to make Ambrose look good, you're going to make Batista look good, that's a good way to do it. And it keeps the show really strong with a very strong rating. Next up we've got a promo which is AJ Styles talking about Alberto Del Rio. They've engaged in a little feud here recently. And AJ Styles is a bit pissed off in this promo, just saying, you know, Alberto's somehow got this problem with me. He's going to win this match and he's going to get back into the title picture, in his opinion. So A89, which considering Styles' lack of charisma, is pretty damn good. We then have the hype video for it, which gets a B+84, and we're hoping this feud as well can hopefully get Alberto Del Rio up a little bit in terms of overness, just to give us another main event heel. And the match, absolutely superb, and about the head superb wrestling and great heat. AJ Styles defeats Alberto Del Rio in 20:05 by pinfall with a springboard 450 splash. The A91, I read rumours like apparently you can't get into the A's unless you do 20-minute matches, but because we're on pay-per-view, gives us a lot of time. If that rumour is correct, then I'm going to use it at pay-per-views because there's plenty of time, and for WWE we need to get in as big a rating as possible, but these two stole the show. AJ with 91, Alberto with 81. No skill improvements, but literally one negative is AJ's declining physical ability, which has just crept in, which is a massive pain because AJ was going to be a guy I was hoping to push for the next 3-4 years. So hopefully it doesn't have too much of a knock to his physical ability because Cena will probably be going the same way. Next up we've got Roman Reigns cutting a promo hyping the main event match. Obviously Seth Rollins has come back saying he's the guy Sorry, he's the man. And obviously Roman Reigns is the guy. So they're kind of feuding here over who is the main guy, who is the champion, who should be the face of the company. 89 for that, so Roman Reigns was a solid promo. When he's unscripted and heel, just shows that Roman Reigns can really take off. But the match itself only got a B78, more so because of the psychology level, which again happens in this mod. It's one of those things, hopefully if they keep working with better workers, or more seasoned workers, sorry, they can gain a bit in psychology, because I've seen a few Becky Lynch's gotten it. I think there was someone else that got just like a good spot, which helped come up a prompt saying basically they've improved their psychology. So it's still an exceptional match. Roman Reigns defeats Seth Rollins in 21:43 by pinfall, following interference from Triple H. Roman Reigns makes defense number 3 of the WWE World Heavyweight title. P78, as I said, disappointing. Seth getting 83. Roman Reigns gets a 92. The Injustice storyline will continue. As I say, it's a shame about the psychology, but it's one of those things. No skill improvements in this matchup. Negatives. Both gentlemen holding back. Seth's morale's a little bit low because of the injury he gave to Kevin Owens. Just a shame, but it's nothing major. And the lack of psychology hampered it, so hopefully our other angles in this show can hopefully boost our rating up. Triple H then just, it says there he's announced him, he's signing a contract. It's just basically saying that Roman Reigns and Triple H are just confirming that that is the alliance, that Seth Rollins has nothing to do with Triple H, and therefore his guy is Roman Reigns. So that's a B82. And while these two are posing in the ring, that these two are going to be the future, that Roman's going to be the future under Triple H. Dean Ambrose, with his Money in the Bank briefcase, comes out, stands at the top of the ramp, pointing at his briefcase saying, I can cash this in at any time, Roman. You better be prepared. A plus 100 to just end the show on a really, really good note. The announcing from Cole was weak, but the Injustice storyline continues because obviously Ambrose is in that as well. And our rating is still a B plus 86, which is really good. And the increase our pop in 29 regions, so not amazing. We have lost a few pay-per-view deals just because the way they are in this game, they would be for an international company, and we're just at national, so we had to downgrade the Sky one and put it down to Satanta, which is cool. You know, like I don't mind having to drop it a little bit. I'll work with that. The basic plan is I'm going to save up for a network, and we'll make the WWE network eventually. We're looking at maybe about 35, 40 million pounds, $40 million in the bank. Then we'll look at the WWE network going forward. But so it's one of those things. It's just the way the mod is. I'm enjoying the save, so I'm not thinking with new patches and new games coming out, I'm going to start again. Just going to work around it, really, to be honest. But at the end of the day, at one point we'll have the full company hopefully running off our network. So AJ and Alberto, what used to were absolutely superb, so pointed out as good examples. Was Indiel's particularly amazing? There's a few matches that were kind of, it could have been a bit better, a lot of 70s in there. I think we'll just stick with the two and just, AJ Styles pleased, Del Rio pleased, they were fantastic. It'll be interesting to see if that changes anything on Del Rio's overness. We can certainly look at that going forward. So let's see. Feedback was awesome, so that's good to see. Anything else here that really stands out? Nope. I know none of these people have face packs, but it's really just a case of if they're signed to WWE, they'll be designated a picture then. We'll have a look at the news. Jerry Lawler's contract's ending. I've learned from a lesson from TNA last year. I'm just putting folk maximum a year, 2 years, depending on who they are. If it's someone I'm going to put a lot of faith in, then they'll be here for a while. But an 8.41, it might actually be my highest. We'll have a look at that one as well. And the drug tests was 4K. Let's have a quick look. WWE, top 100. My best event is still at Raw. Battleground actually scoring is my 4th highest event, which I believe was an 860. But you can see mostly getting B pluses, so that's good. With the 1A, it's really just a case again of just getting people over, We're not losing popping anymore in most places, so usually most of our shows are pretty strong. That's good. Couple of A matches. Actually, that was my second best match. AJ Styles versus Del Rio. Best one so far has been AJ and Seth Rollins against Roman Reigns and Del Rio, which happened on a Monday Night Raw this month as well. So most of the good matches you can see have been June, July, a couple in there for like May, but more so now because people are over. Highest attendance as well by 3,000. As you can see, most of the pay-per-view is in a 34,000 whatever seater stadium, arena. Mr. Raw is just really 14,000, so that's cool. Not actually our joint highest there. We've tied that with Money in the Bank. As you can see here, we're improving with these, so that's a positive thing as well. Right, so we're signing Jervis Cottonbelly to NXT, not NXT Women, so he's in there. He'll sign soon, just extending the contract from Norman Smiley as well. 40 million in the bank is good, but we will lose about 3 or 4 million by the end of the month, because obviously everything has to be taken into account then. So that's cool. That'll then, as I say, once we get to a proper good margin, then I can finally get a network. But I say, made good money from that. 5 million plus at the moment. Pay-per-view revenue is pretty much the standard of what it's been, despite being on a smaller scale. Also done one show for SmackDown where I didn't have it on US television. Completely forgot to renew the deal with USA Network, but we put us on Fox, which is a much bigger audience as well, so hopefully that gave us a lot better ratings. You can see here we're closing in international. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, so another 2 parts of America after the 71 importance, and then we will be an international company because we're quite high up in Canada as well. But the aim is now we need to be getting 79s in the US and Canada to make sure we are not dropping. Apart from that, I'll say we'll have look at a few people regarding their popularity. AJ is up at an 88, 87, some places even a 91, so he's developed greatly. Give you an idea of that. He started at 65, and as I say, he is pretty much up by, you could say, about 23 now when you're getting kind of ratings like that. So AJ will put a big faith in, and the Roman Reigns heel turn effectively helped him best. We'll just get it this way so we can look easier. Alberto Del Rio, still at 70. He's one that's obviously dropped from the start, but slowly building him back up. We dropped him to 65 when he's been jobbing, but we've put him up to 70, so hopefully we can get him back up the way. Other ones I think we'll look at is Becky Lynch. She's another one, obviously reigning defending women's champion. 25, slowly going up about 4 overness per month. I think the early stages of getting her up and over seem to be a bit easy. But once you get to kind of like the 40s, it slows down a little bit, so your D minuses into Ds. So we'll keep pushing her. Hopefully we get into a C minus, but I think a lot of her push coming up is going to be down to the development of Paige. 42s, 43s, nothing major in her push with Seth at the moment, but she dropped a little. She is gaining. We'll just keep putting in these kind of storylines to hopefully get her a little bit of overness. Apart from that, is there anyone else we want to look at? We'll just look at Roman Reigns. In fact, we'll look at Seth as well. So Roman Reigns, still sitting pretty high, 91s, 92s. As you say, he's been up since B77, so he's come up a good way as well. So Seth we didn't use the first couple of months due to injury, so he had to be built up a little bit. So he's come up from 77s, got him up to 81s at the start of the month. 83s, 84s. I think if given a couple of months, we can push him into an A player, an A minus player maybe, not the Daniel Bryan D plus player. And since we've looked at the other members of the Shield, I've looked at Ambrose. But considering we've not really done a lot with Ambrose, the fact that he is from a 75, was up to an 86 at the start of the month, is now sitting with A grades at 89, 90. Giving him money in the bank seems like a good idea. The main event scene is pretty much waiting for Dean Ambrose, but he'll be there shortly. So overall, absolutely delighted with that. So say next pay-per-views is SummerSlam, which I've put to the 3rd week of August, so 5-week build, plenty of time to get storylines over. Brock's going to come back for that. Unsure if I'm bringing Taker back, but I've got a few storylines written on my phone that I'm hoping to pull out in the next couple of, well, I was going to say next couple of episodes, just making sure they get over in time for the next episode, which will be SummerSlam. So delighted with that. Last thing I'm going to look at is the title prestige, because obviously titles were on the line. Miz, with 5 title defences, C plus 68, so his title is still up high, so that's good. It's up by 6 where it started it, so that's good. Oh well, it's went up and down, so it's decent, it's not terrible. Money in the Bank prestige is up because we gave it to Ambrose, so that's ideal. The US title, because Kevin Owens is injured, that we can cover that as well. C plus 70, it's not been defended because he's been injured. Kev's a decent champ. Women's Championship is at C62, which has come up from a C minus 55. Becky with 5 title defences, so interesting to see what we do with Becky Lynch. She's had a good run with it. Tag titles are at a C plus 68, well defended there. But again, they're ones that went up by 6, so that's a pretty good reason prestige for them so far. They'll float and probably drop and gain, just depending who champions are. And the World Championship, B78. Roman Reigns has dropped it by 7. I think it's just the case that because of the lack of psychology in matches, it's hurting him. But I feel like if we can get him in there, like if he'd fight AJ Styles again, I think he'd be way up and that prestige would be gained. But as long as none of these other championships catch it or surpass it, then we'll be okay. So on to the last thing I was going to do, which is medical. It's another 40 days for Kevin Owens, another 2 months and 1 week for John Cena. I don't want to go and put them under surgery in case they're out for a bit longer. So that's 2 injuries. Luke Harper's another 2 months and 3 weeks. 46 days for Randy Orton. And another 4 months and 2 weeks for Tyson Kidd. Ryback endured a second wellness policy violation, so he is suspended. And Jack Swagger has been caught doing soft drugs, so he has been sent to rehab, which is 4 months and 2 weeks that he'll continually be away for, but I think he'll be one we'll probably just release. But apart from that, as I say, we've started our new development company, so that's good with 2 development companies. You have the NXT, which is here, a lot of familiar names there, a lot of unfamiliar names, a lot of names where maybe just like, why have you signed them? And of course the NXT Women's Division, which is not all the women, I just had to split some of it so far. But you know, likes of Madison Reigns in there, Eve Torres, people like this to really help bring the level of the company up. And we've got Shawn Hernandez, Doug Williams, and DDP as trainers on the women's side of things. But I say there's still plenty of women here. Bayley, Billie Kay, you know, there's plenty in there as well. Carmella, Candice LeRae's in there. So these people will make the main roster eventually. Give everybody a good chance. But as I say, it's a stacked roster, and as a few people have said, it could arguably say it's better than my main roster. But these will come to the main roster just when their skills are maxed out. That's the plan in putting them in developmental at this moment in time. So as always, guys, thank you for watching. If you've enjoyed the episode, if you drop a like, it would be deeply appreciated. If you enjoyed the show, let me know what you thought. Any predictions for my card at the annual event of the summer, which is of course SummerSlam. If you're doing a WWE or save yourself, let me know how you're getting on. Drop us a comment about it and I'll happily get back to you about it. Apart from that, guys, thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. Remember, if this is posted up on Reddit, if you want to leave comments on Reddit, I'll happily read and reply to them. Same with if it's posted on the Grey Dog Software website, I'll happily just reply back in the forum. For some reason, I can't seem to get posts embedded, which means you do get dragged to my YouTube channel from it, which is unfortunate. I'd rather, for its layout purposes, look a lot nicer, having the card at the top and then the actual video underneath it, so you can just watch it on the forums. But no idea, it's just not working for me. So we'll try and get that sorted. If it works, great. If not, you're getting dragged to my channel every time. But as I say, thanks for watching as always, guys. It's a pleasure. And most importantly, guys, just keep enjoying the game and just keep having fun booking away. Bye bye.